Cool. How does this... Oh, hello, I didn't see you there. My name's Caydin. Caydin, the A1 Terrier of the North Western Railway number 14. If you haven't already known me by now, I'm technically the owner of Caydin Stories of the North Western Railway, but to brief sum it up, I go over, just like Victor Tangsin, of the events of Sodor, but differently, following different headcanons and history too. I do try to keep to history as much as I can, but add in bits of bobs of my own. And since the camera's here today, I'm got told to show you around the new changes of Sodor. This is Caydin's Changes of Sodor, episode 1. This is only gonna be when the layout or the whole entire area gets changed. So I'll show you around while also giving you a bit of history on it too. Now follow me and we'll hop off and look at the new sites. All aboard for the changes of Sodor. So, the sheds have nothing changed so far, but if we go to Titmus Station over here, you can see Boko getting ready to pull out with the Wild Nor'Wester. Hello Boko! Hello Caydin, how are you doing? Oh good, I'm just showing the beautiful fans on YouTube of our series and the sites of Sodor that have changed. Oh, I hope you have a good time with that, and I hope everyone enjoys. Indeed, Boko, indeed. Now, you may see that we do not have the old yards. Well, that's to accommodate the harbour reconstruction that has finally happened. So follow me as we go down this line, which is to help increase production of the stuff happening in the yards. That is too much for us all to keep in one yard. Ah look! There's Edwards, Ryan and Mickey. From where we've moved, where Sir Stephen Topham Hatt decided to move the sheds at Twellsworth to the harbour, made it so that they can be more closer to, well, home. Let's see how they're doing, eh? Hello Edward, Mickey and Ryan, how are you doing? Pretty good. So far so good. The branch line's been better ever since Ryan's come back. Shame about Lily and Colin though, they still at the works though. I'm sure things will be better. You've dealt with us, Edward. You've once ran the whole branch alone before Bill and Ben came. Yeah, but Colin was the one used to handle the China clay pits once Bill and Ben got transferred over to your branch. But even then, how have they been? Apart from waking me up at 3 in the morning, or 5. Pretty good. Oh, those twins will never be able to get our grasp. Yeah, and truly we can't ever. Oh, I hear Percy coming with the milk. Hello Percy, how are you doing? Quite fine, but we need Thomas back as quickly as he can. The milk's constantly being handled by us, but we can't keep up. Christopher's still in the works. So we need him back. It'll be fine, Percy. You dealt with worse. Truly, you have dealt with worse, Percy. Yes, but truly, it needs Thomas back. Oh, is that Rosie I can hear? Come to collect a goods train. Hello, Caydin. How you doing, eh? Quite fine, Rosie. You? Yeah, but Bill and Ben have been at it at the shed. Oh, bother. We'll never be able to calm them down now. What are they arguing about? Which trucks are theirs? You gotta be kidding me. So what have you come here to collect then, Rosie? Just some trucks. I'm sure Joel will get that sorted. Oh yeah, speaking of which, let's go and meet Joel. The harbour shunter here at Titmouth for the time being. Hello Caydin, hello Rosie, how are you doing today? Quite fine Joel, you? Yeah, quite good. I've gotten nearly everything ready for today. Charlotte's already with the wild North Flyer. Technically one branch North Flyer, but considering Emily's still in the works, he's taking it over for the time being, eh? That's our clever Joel. Everyone, this is Joel, the Harbour Diesel. He's a one-off design. We don't know what design, but wherever he goes, efficiency comes with. Basically, if there was a train needing sorting, he would handle it. It's basically Bruno in the entire old Engines Go series. Considering this is still too far behind history so far, so technically we should not know about this. But this is fourth wall broken. And there's Shyla. Hello Shyla, hello Caydin, hello Rosie. Yep, he's quite a good fellow, Shyla is. He used to work on the Sodor mainland railway before it closed. He's been a fine addition ever since. Come on Rosie, let's move so Joel can do his shunting for ya. Yes, we should. Door Rosie, I've got your brake banner. Hey lass. Joel, do you know when you arrived? Yeah, it was a couple of weeks after Rick's arrival, eh? But do you know why you got called Joel, though? That's simple. It was mixed between two characters' names. Originally, I weren't called that, but then but later on in years, I got called Joel. But even then, since this is technically the 1980s, into the 1990s, technically I should not have the name. But even then, clever foreshadowing, eh? Yep. Here we go, dish. Look. Any other trucks, Rosie, that you need, eh? I just need a cargo car. Right, going in to get it to ya. Of what we know from Joel, he was originally built around, let's say, the time Diesel was built. No. He was around during when Boko was built, wasn't he? We can always ask Boko. Yeah, it was built near the time Boko was. Okay, that answers it. But of all we know from Joel, considering he's very much like me at times, Rosie, ain't that right? A chatterbox. But he does get his work done, like me. Finn's taken quite an interest into him, hasn't he, Rosie? Yeah, he has. He's taken Joel right under his wing. Yep, he sure has. Even to the point of where whole entire Finn's calling him a nickname, Joe. Or was it Joey? No, Joe. Yeah, was it Joel? Joel, was it Joe? Yeah, it was Joe. Alright, let's make it sure. Now, come with me, since I have a passenger train to take. Oh, no, you don't. Sir Stephen Tom Hat has told me to tell you, you're not doing anything. That's going up the main line. Oh, come on, I have to show the fans. Sure, but really, do you want him to get cross again? Who else, then, can show everyone on the internet of what changes have been done? Considering all I know, I'm the only one who's read the script. I can? Oh no. Why don't I show the fans around, eh? I have a Royal Northwest to take up the line. Fine, James, go ahead. Wait a minute, you're supposed to be taking my passengers. But, Caydin, don't you remember? I came back from the works. I have to take my little dip. And so Tom Hat decided to have me on the main line until everyone else is back. Go on then. Meanwhile, take the script, go to the shed, read it, and come back. If you improvise anything, I won't be happy. Right. Right. Got it. You can't read that quickly, James. We all know you lack in reading. Really? I do not. You certainly do, James. You fail to read the speed sign when you first called passengers. Did not. You did, you liar. Did not. Stuart Edward, no, come on fans, come with me, come with Jamesy. We do not call you that. Wait, what's that? Can't take one moment. You're not turning around on the Y. If you don't know what a Y is, it's literally the letter Y. As in the letter that starts on the word U. Even though this ain't an educational whole entire channel, we do try to educate some people if we can. And let's just say, we do our best. And from what I read off the script, we're changing the series approach to be more made for kids, which means we're not allowed to swear. So, I can't start up doing the job. Anyways, we're gonna try and be a kid-friendly channel, considering of all you splendorful fans that's watched episode 10 of season 2, which is technically halfway through our season 2 already. So, if you keep doing what you're doing, we can do more. Even though it's sacrificing the comment section. Thanks a lot, YouTube, by the way. We are learning to adapt to YouTube as a whole and trying to find an audience that will actually carry on, which is the reason why we've had this absence of episode 10 to 11. It's because we're getting ourselves prepared from last time. But thank you all for nearly 200 views on episode 10/20 of Caydin Stories of the Northwestern Railway. If we would probably have Victor Tongues and voicing someone, but no, we don't know how to do that. But even then, we're getting by on our own as it is. And we can say this of a title, a working title: Finn and the Clever Joel. Basically, it could be not. It depends, considering we want to make it so that we have space between characters arriving and not. Considering Caydin, as in the person who owns this channel, struggle as it is for character story ideas, which makes it hard for us to act entirely our own character. So at times we could be ourselves 1 minute and then be a complete different engine the next. It's just the way that Caydin's trying to be while having nearly 100 odd characters. Which is the reason why some of us have odd moments in which we end up appearing just so then we have some type of character development. Just say, look at me, I went from struggling with the Wild Northwester to be put on an entirely different service. Now, as we come to Wellsworth, you can tell that the sheds aren't there. Which is what Caydin should have already said about the fact we've changed it up so then Wellsworth can nearly have its own yard and potentially get rid of all the backlash of goods in the yard, which where the old shed yard used to be is potentially either going to be a coach shed again or a place for goods. But here's the thing though that I said. I did tell Caydin the fact when the design changes got changed up of Sodor about the fact of Edward or the banker having a delayed reaction to getting to Gordon's Hill to help out. If, say, Gordon got stuck on a hill with a goods train, which technically happened in the series, but I won't say because technically you should know the story of Gordon and Edward by now. Even then, it's hard to tell if Caydin would want to say when he gets to a comfortable point in the series of jumping back or having the series taking place before this current series of Caydin's Stories of the Northwestern Railway to tell his versions of stories prior to his own arrival. If he don't put himself in it, it's a story James. Ha ha. And let's just say, and when we come over to the hill, we have 2 lines now to get up the hill. At Wellsworth, that is. And Caydin's also been a generous punk and decided to add a viaduct. He really wanted to use that pizza to make it worth it. But that does mean, round here, it is 1 line. And then, damn it, the tender's come off. But if you come down here, you'll see that Barrow's had a change in design too. From it having an awkward entrance, but here's the thing though, there's no way to turn around. Caydin is trying to figure out a way, or trying to find a cheap enough turntable on eBay that could potentially fit Scott on it, but he could either make his own if he's capable enough. I heard that. Anyways, if he decides to, but technically since we ran out of straights here, we had to use curves. The plainest and stupidest idea in the book, but back then this is what got us by with some limitations of yards. You can't put it any nicer. Oh, don't, Caydin, I'm doing you a favour. It's now we come to the return trip, where hopefully Caydin will not interrupt beautiful Lord James here any further. And I will say this on Caydin's behalf. He does hope to have Finn voice in his solo episode with Joel himself. Technically, Finn wouldn't be voicing Joel, but in a way, he would be hopefully voicing his own self. That's if he gets his voice lines done or we have changed up the way we record. But unlike last time where he had his own voice lines, replacing Donald and Douglas's ones in On Tired Toes Stands By, surely things can't go wrong then. Considering he himself would be voicing himself. And considering the 6-part storyline of the recovery of Sodor from Sailor John's revenge, which would play into season 3 and potentially season 4 if Caydin don't change his mind about if he does or not. But we do plan to introduce Diesel 10, but not in the way you expect. That's it, James. I'm stealing the show back. Anyways, in the way that you would expect for Diesel 10, you'd probably want him mean or outright a villain. But that's what seemed to be preferred option when it comes to Diesel 10 in other people's series. But barely at times is Diesel 10 a non-protagonist. In the sense of not a villain. That's why, if he does ever come into the series, I'd write him differently. Different background, etc. But it don't mean we're draining off that. We still will keep our ways. We probably have a question of this. When will Scarlet and his friends show up? That's a question for another time to be answered if he ever ended up having that. But here's the thing though. We do not have the budget, space, or literally anywhere else to put it. It would probably be its own separate series of the Scarlet's stories of Caydin's stories of the Scarlet Railway. Potential title, but we can't be too sure. Considering we don't have any other Wooden Railway versions of the Scarlet cast apart from Rusty. But we still can't be too sure. But whatever we lack in, we try to strive with what we got. Even if it meant adapting to stuff. Like how we adapted to Titmus Station to have 2 extra platforms to accommodate the more passenger trains and services we have. Even though the end platforms of 7 and 8 are ridiculously high. I'll prove it by doing something like Colin. It takes a while here. So if you look here, we put all the express coaches together into the platform. If you don't see the issue, it's pretty clear. The last 1.5 coaches, roofs, nobody can exit the last 1.5 coach. But the more surprising concern is the fact that the platform is as tall as the coach roof. We honestly do not have an answer for why it is. It was just matching up the platform heights, which went wrong, but it's fine in the way it is. And the Wild Nor'Wester, of course, ain't gonna be in there. And since now we've gone over nearly all the changes of Sodor, I would like to say this. If you're wondering if, say, we would have an episode on Branch Line, we would probably not have it done. because really it's just hard to do an accurate display of the branch lines. And before I even had this channel, I did try having a whole layout with a branch, but that did not go down well. Even then, we don't have the space or budget to have 4 branch lines, especially the Olsted branch, which I physically in a way have a map of sodor in my Caydin, but I won't show it to you yet because station names aren't on them, not like they're probably ever going to be, because it would be too small to write on it. But physically we cannot get any branch lines made on the space we have, unless we took everything apart, put it in sets. But even then, he will not be able to fully remember how things went. So playing it on the safe side, keeping the way things are, is the best option.
Caydin, you're doing it again.
How stoic Gordon is telling the fans that we doing changes here. But let's just say, we do have more changes, good ones and all, to say for the series. But if you're wondering who would take over number 13 of the roster, it would technically fall under another engine. But since we don't have an engine to give the number to, we would more likely give it out to a later date. Even though, say, Peter was built and arrived before me, and yet somehow I got in a number ahead of him. No, behind him. Makes no sense. Technically he should have been number 14, but no. Sticking with everyone else's headcanon of Peter being number 15, I will stick to that tradition. But truly, we are making changes here, and even though this is stretched out long, it's just showing the fact that we're making changes, adapting to what's needed here. Considering I've been stretching out the harbour was going to happen for months, but haven't been able to for the lack of budgets that we've been able to have to make the harbour. Which is why, apart from Titmus Station and sheds, everything else has been thrown around to make it able to. And another reason why there was a gap between this video and episode 10 is because after doing episode 10, I wanted to have a break and enjoy my life for a bit, as well as think about how to make stuff better, and video ideas and all. But it's just thinking of how the characters could be in the stories, like how Toe Stands By takes place primarily at Titmouth, even though in the books it took primarily on the Little Western at, I believe, Arsborough End. But here's the thing though, did anyone notice the fact Donald was off the rails? The fact is, I had no clue that Donald was off the rails, but you could say he had a slight miscalculation with the points from the signalman. But if you end up finding any other goofs, I'll probably pull up a poll saying about it. But until then, this is Caydin the A1 Terrier, signing off. But here's the thing. We're gonna targets younger children and audience, so then the videos get spread out more. Unless I have one that's specifically dark toned, I would not have it set for kids. But unless there aren't, they could be made for kids, so then people can see it from further distances instead of just YouTube's not copyright system, age restrictive stuff. I don't know what it's called, but it's thanks to COPPI, not PPI, I mean PPA, which goes by the name of Children Online Protection something, which basically makes stuff on the internet safer for children. But we won't get too much into that, because really I don't like politics. But we are truly making changes for this, for either the better or the worst. It's like that one show, but that I don't listen to. But even then, I won't digress. Thank you all for watching this, and if I may, please go back and watch all the other videos so then you're caught up. But if you are children, I do not recommend the early birthday special. That does contain swear words. I would not recommend. Truly, the early birthday special does have swear words contained in it, so unless you're a child, you can watch it. But if you're children, I do not recommend watching it, considering the words used were the only time exception, considering it did have pretty dark stuff in it. From where I almost pulled let's just say a Victor Townsend, where he tried killing off Thomas, succeeded, and is able to still do stories. For me, I tried doing something like that, but wasn't happy. So that's why half of his face got blown up and survived. It's just like an alternative ending to it. Which technically the Earth Day birthday special is mixed between Train King James's full-length feature called A New Era, and then of course season 5 of Victor Townsend series. Oh, Caydin, are you saying about Victor Townsend, eh? Yes, Thomas, I am. Oh yeah, he's a good fellow, ain't he? Yes, Thomas, he is. Oh yeah, Caydin, you should tell the audience. Okay. Oh yeah. In any of later episodes where if you see Percy say 1 minute puffing along, the next teleported out, technically no longer GWR Productions, but going by the name of Train Kid Productions, even though it used to be known as DWR Productions. I don't know if he would take this into consideration of the fact pretty much Percy probably would or wouldn't be teleporting in and out of his series, but if he does, and if you're watching this, Finn, if you end up doing this, I'm making it canon in my series, so if you don't, it's really going to be awkward. Of basically Percy teleporting in between my series and his, it's going to be canon because Percy exists in Finn's series, but at the same time does not. I won't go into detail because it's really Train King Productions area to speak. But unless we talk about it in a live stream, it was probably hard to describe in a way. But just know, if he does go along with the idea and in a way decides for a person to constantly teleport in and out of his series, let's just say it's just Finn's series is Percy just teleporting into mine. Also known as the fact his Percy is my series Percy. Because in a sense, Finn's series takes place long before this series, which technically means Train Kids Productions series is Caydin, is also technically this series Caydin. Because Caydin and Train Kids Productions is series that he's working on. It's technically canon to my series. I'll explain more in another episode / video of changes of Sodor, but probably Finn himself to describe the series as a whole. So then it makes things easy to understand. So then we don't have odd bits and bobs just so confusing in between. But that's enough from me for today. I'll see you next time in another episode. Bye bye, and thank you for watching.